From Universal Studios, Hollywood, the Samuel Goldwyn Company presents American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 20 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champions. Now, here are your American Gladiators: Gemini, Lace, Nitro, Gold, Laser, Blaze, Thunder, Ice, Turbo, and Diamond. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamle, and his co-host, Larry Zonka.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle. Glad you could join us for another edition of the American Gladiators. The contenders we have selected from our nationwide talent search, well, they come from all walks of life, and they represent a wonderful blend of athletic skill and personal achievement. However, they have never faced challenges like the ones posed by our American Gladiators, and this year we've added 4 more to our already impressive crew. Now, my co-host is a guy who has never backed away from any challenge. He's all a Hall of Fame fullback from the Miami Dolphins, Mr. Larry Zonka.
Thank you, Mike. Good to be here.
Larry, good to have you. You know, the contenders who emerge from this preliminary round will have beaten some long odds. What kind of elements will factor into their success?
I think there's 2 things that come to mind. First, adaptability. It's one thing to have great athletic talent. It's another to come here and adapt it to the kind of events that go on here. The second thing I think is self-discipline, to be able to discipline yourself to not be intimidated, firstly by the lights, the cameras, the events themselves, even the audience, and of course, lastly, the gladiators. They're a pretty intimidating bunch.
Well, the contenders, it's a very long day. They have to stay focused, and let's meet the contenders for this preliminary round.
In our women's preliminary, please welcome Nina Akai of Hoboken, New Jersey, an artist and sculptor. And her opponent, Carrie Henger of Ban Nuys, California, a stunt woman and animal trainer. In the men's competition, this is Terrance Johnson of Inglewood, California, a teacher and former member of the University of Missouri track team. And his opponent, Kiernan of Phoenix, Arizona, a firefighter and former collegiate wrestler.
Carrie, I know you're a stunt woman, and I noticed that one of your hobbies is country western dancing. You're going to need those quick feet to do a Cotton Eye Joe around some of our gladiators.
Yeah, I think that's going to come in pretty handy, the coordination and quick step and keeping in rhythm.
James, you're a firefighter by profession. The old saying, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You're going to have to put out the competitive flame of some of our gladiators.
Well, hopefully when they put the heat on, I'll be able to extinguish it.
Hey, we're looking forward to watching you compete. Nitro liked that. His eyes just lit up, James. Larry?
Nina, you have your master's degree in fine arts from Columbia. You specialize in large-scale painting and sculpting. Have you ever sculpted anything the size of our wall event?
Well, not yet, Larry, but I create works of art at least as heroic and powerful as these gladiators.
Good. Terrance, I understand you're a special education teacher at Santa Monica. You've got a little football background out at the University of Missouri. You've had a chance to look at our gladiators. What do you think about mixing it up with them?
It's time to get busy, baby. Yeah.
All right, good luck, Nina. Mike?
Terrance, I like that. The gladiators are ready. Our contenders are ready. As Terrance said, it's time to get busy. If you haven't seen the American Gladiators before, this is how our competition works. Our contenders, 2 men and 2 women, will compete in 7 very different events against our American Gladiators. Now, the contenders who amass the most points in those 7 rigorous confrontations automatically advance to the next round and move 1 step closer towards our championship final. At stake, over $150,000 in cash and prizes. We're ready now for our first event. Here's Larry with an explanation.
Powerball is our lead-off event in this preliminary, and our men will challenge Laser, Gemini, and Turbo in this 45-second contest of speed and endurance. There's Terrance Johnson. He's one of the smallest of our men contenders at 5'7", but he makes up for it at 190 pounds. Graduate of Missouri, where he played some football.
And his opponent is James Kiernan, a firefighter from Phoenix, Arizona, and a former collegiate wrestler.
Ready?
Referee Larry Thompson gets the match underway, and quickly our Gladiators go to work.
A little more like they go to battle, Mike.
TJ should have the advantage here with his quickness, but so far Turbo has met those little quick rushes of Terrance Johnson's.
Oh!
Oh, man!
Terrance gets rolled like a bug.
And I think Larry TJ is still shaking out the cobwebs. Our contenders now know the Gladiators take their Powerball seriously. We've got a whistle. Let's listen to Larry Thompson.
We have a disqualification in men's Powerball. Gladiator Laser was above the shoulders, will be out for the remainder of the game. The remainder of the game will be conducted between the two contenders and the two remaining Gladiators.
Here's James Kiernan here. Laser takes him on, goes up a little high, gets his arm too high. Larry Thompson says, no play, fellas, and throws out a Gladiator.
So 7 seconds remain on the clock. Terrance leads 1-0. Scores again right there. So did James Kiernan. It's 2-1. And that's the way it's going to end. Woo! But what a rough battle.
Mike, I don't know if the word rough does it justice. Check out this double team on TJ. Both Gladiators hit him. That's gotta hurt.
Well, I don't know if it was worth it, but Terrance does take the lead after one event. Still to come on the American Gladiators is the Joust, hand-to-hand combat with pugil sticks, plus our game of assault. But up next, women's Powerball. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where the women are now set to take on Ice, Gold, and Diamond in Powerball. Now this preliminary features Nina Akai. In the red, there she is, born in Czechoslovakia. Nina is an artist who specializes in painting and sculpting.
And Nina will take on Carrie Henger, a stunt woman who has experience in bodybuilding and kickboxing.
And our terrific trio of Gladiators is always ready to go. Nina in the red, Carrie in the blue, and right off the bat, Nina scores.
No score, blue.
Carrie finding out early just how difficult it is to get by ice.
I think Ice was Ray Nitschke in her other life, Larry.
No score, blue.
Well, she's a lot prettier than Ray.
I'll tell you, she hits just about as hard. No offense, Ray.
Yeah, please, Ray, no offense.
So far, Nina's goal, the only score of this game.
Leave her. No score, blue.
Carrie must be thinking it must be much easier being a stunt woman. A little curly shuffle for Nina Akai, and that's the end of the match. She wins it 1-0.
Started off with a bang, but didn't really go anywhere after that.
Carrie, I know you're a fine athlete and you train very hard for this competition, but there's really nothing you can do that can approximate the kind of pounding and the quickness that you need in Powerball.
No, especially when there's two Gladiators on top of you. But all I can do is go ahead and give them your best shot.
It's all part of the game and you'll be back. Carrie, all right. Nina, you scored the 1 goal necessary for victory. An all-Southwest Conference volleyball player at Rice. This doesn't even come close to volleyball.
Well, actually, in volleyball, you learn how to fly and take a crash landing without getting killed.
Well, you took a couple of crash landings without getting killed. You're still in one piece, and you won this particular game of Powerball. Congratulations. Nina and Carrie.
So Nina takes the early lead in our women's preliminary. While in our men's event, Terrance leads James as the men prepare for the Joust.
And as a former collegiate athlete, Terrance Johnson told us he stresses athletics now as a special educations teacher.
I really stress getting into physical fitness, getting into pumping weights, getting into just dieting, getting the right diet. If they have a hard time with that, I make out a program for them, and then I slowly work them into some running and then weightlifting and swimming, and just get those guys, get their minds rolling, because idle mind is the devil's workshop, and it really works on these guys.
And I'm sure Terrance isn't suffering from an idle mind as he faces off with Laser in the Joust.
Whoa. Oh. The old 1-2, and Laser put Terrance away.
Laser celebrates. He didn't waste any time. He took it right to TJ. Delivers the 1-2, as Mike alluded to. There it is. Knocks TJ off balance. And off the platform he comes.
And now Lasers challenge a bigger one in the person of James Kiernan. James 6'1", about 210.
On guard.
Solid muscle and not the kind of guy that gets intimidated. And this battle never really materializes. James loses the grip on his pugil stick, but Laser loses his altogether, and James is the winner. I'll tell you what, James, that had all the potential to be a great joust, and you did something that the Contenders haven't been able to do so far, and that's beat the Gladiator to the punch.
Yeah, well, I put out a lot of fires for a living, but I wanted to put out a Laser. He couldn't do it. He dropped his stick, but...
Laser, I know you're not one to alibi, but I think that's exactly what happened. You lost control of that pugil stick, and I think you'd have been up there a lot longer.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I had the grip, and I came over with a horizontal diagonal slash, and I think I hit him a little bit too hard and to the punch, and the shock just took it off.
James, you were able to hang on to your stick while Laser was not, and that was the difference in your victory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So with a 10-zip victory in the joust, James now takes the lead over Terrance in our men's preliminary. As the crowd shouts their support for Nina as she leads Carrie after one event. And now they take to the platform for the joust.
And Larry, Nina is up first, and earlier she talked about the unusual method she used to prepare herself mentally.
When I found out I was going to be on the show, one of the first things I did was to go out and buy a bunch of little toy rubber Tasmanian devils. And I placed them all over my loft, strategically, so that everywhere I looked, I'd have this little role model to aspire to. He's perfect because he devours everything. He's relentless.
And now Nina has to look across, not at the Tasmanian devil, but at Blaze.
And Blaze may be a little tougher than that Tasmanian devil the way she swings that pugil stick. Blaze did walk over to Nina's pedestal, but not before she knocked Nina off. So no points for Nina Akai in the joust. And now it's our stunt woman's turn. Carrie Henger's chance to see what she can do with Blaze.
On guard.
Carrie wastes no time striking. But Blaze, very, very fast and furious. Trying to land. Oh, she stepped across to the platform. Carrie calls attention to that immediately.
And once again, it may be Blaze's overzealousness that cost her this match again. Blaze trying her best to knock Carrie off the pedestal. Doesn't really realize how close she is there. I think she lost her balance momentarily and decided to use Carrie's pedestal to keep her balanced. So Carrie takes away 10 points from Blaze's DQ and now leads Nina after 2 events. Still to come on the American Gladiators, our Contenders will scale the wall. Then it's Atlasphere, but up next, Assault. We are now ready for the game of Assault here on the American Gladiators, where a Contender has 60 seconds to hit a target using these 5 weapons. First a crossbow, then a rocket launcher, a cannon, a pistol, and 3 softballs. Now a Contender may also earn 4 points by completing the course without getting hit.
James leads TJ after 2 events, and the men will be taking aim at Thunder.
The bad news for the Contenders, Thunder will also be taking aim at them.
Ready.
James used up about 15 seconds to get that first shot off. Will have to be a bit quicker as this game wears on. Whoa! Mighty close.
Little high, little wide. And what also happens is as James gets closer, those tennis balls come faster.
James told us earlier that he's accustomed to putting out fires. What he'd like to do now is put Thunder's lights out. Thunder reversed the tables on him and picked him off, racing to that 4th safe zone.
Right here, Mike, he does the roll. Comes out of it pretty clean, but just as he comes out, Thunder gets him.
Now Thunder would like to get Terrance Johnson, but Terrance extremely quick. That shot with the crossbow didn't score, but it got Thunder's attention.
Terrance having a little trouble finding out exactly where the trigger's at on the rocket launcher, but instead of aiming at the target, he tried to draw a little blood from Thunder.
Thunder said, enough is enough. Let's get this game over with, and he picks off TJ.
Terrance, it was a tough shot you took. I got to be honest with you. My money was on you. You're kind of compact. You're quick, evasive. I really thought you'd slide right through there. I didn't think Thunder would be able to pick you off.
Yeah, he surprised me, too. I thought I had him. I saw that ball coming a little too late and tried to get that hand, the leg up, but he caught me. Good shot, Thunder.
Well, good luck in the rest of the day.
All right.
So our big man, Thunder, shuts out the man, and the score remains the same after 3 events. In the women's competition, Carrie holds a 10-1 lead over Nina as they get set for assault. Lace will take over the gun for the Gladiators.
Carrie's a veteran stunt woman, and earlier she told us what kind of competitor she can be.
I feel that I'm a diehard when it comes to competition. Racquetball tournaments, you know, I'll go to the last point, I'll dive. I'm very aggressive. I'm also a pretty good loser. I mean, if I feel that I've done my best, I'm happy. And if it's not meant to be for me to win, then I can accept that. But I just go 100% out.
But the game of assault, one of controlled aggressiveness, so Carrie will have to try to harness some of that energy. First shot goes astray, now on to the second safe zone.
Lace playing a little bit of the cat and mouse, the waiting game.
Conserving some of her ammunition.
Way high with a rocket launcher. Let's see how she fares over to the third safe position.
Lace realizes you can't hit the Contenders when they're behind those barriers, so she lays out a steady path of fire in between safe zones.
Carrie's got Lace ducking a little bit.
Come on, Carrie, you're running out of time. She have one last chance here, doesn't get it off in time. No points for Carrie Henger. So Nina Akai will now get her chance to see what she can do against Lace. Licking her lips, perhaps tasting a victory here, a chance to hit our golden gladiator up there. Lace very tough with that tennis cannon. Nina with sort of a peekaboo style of shooting.
Hot foots it over to the rocket launcher.
Trying to set her.
Oh!
Well, we've seen that happen a lot.
Early trigger on the rocket launcher.
A great style points in the dive to the third safe zone. Lace's gun is jammed momentarily. Nina's shot goes sailing over Lace's head. Again, another dive. Nina also working against that clock.
She is literally under the gun now.
See what kind of arm she has. Crowd is screaming to Nina, keep going. Lace has run out of ammunition. Nina, you got time on the clock. Keep going, kid. You got a chance for the draw. And she made it just in time for 4 points.
Nina, great moves. It's obvious that you had some strategy in mind, the way you approach the different weapons. A couple times there, it looked like a baseball player diving into second base.
I don't know. No strategy. It's do or die.
I got to tell you something. You moved through there so quickly. You got there. Lace ran out of balls. You had a few moments to take kind of a free throw, and you just barely missed that last one.
Well, I have to thank the audience for reminding me I still had some time on the clock. Thanks, you guys.
So give the crowd an assist as Nina wins the assault and now closes in on Carrie after 3 events. The men now move on to their next event as they get set to scale our 32-foot wall. And James Kiernan awaits at the base. Earlier, he compared competing here on the American Gladiators to his job as a firefighter.
Oh, well, that definitely relates to. There's a lot of fear and anxiety going into a fire. And there'll be a lot of fear and anxiety going against the Gladiators, but I'm confident in my abilities to handle any situation in the fire that comes along, and I'm confident in my abilities to handle the Gladiators.
Terrance Johnson will be followed by Gemini up the wall.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Yeah.
Gemini obviously ready. While James will have Nitro in pursuit of him.
James talked about fear and anxiety. They can be great motivators. Again, our contenders are given a 10-second head start. And both our contenders having some problems getting early footing. Now they're on their way.
Bang, our Gladiators hit the wall.
Gemini, literally. I think that's the only way he can get the contenders off. Terrance working hard. You can see James's muscles rippling. And sorry, big guy, I cut Gemini to the quick. He almost had Terrance by the leg there as James makes it to the top.
Terrance now left all alone on the wall. His only competition at this point is the clock. And he hoists himself up to the top of the wall and receives 5 points for his hard work.
Way to go, baby.
DJ happy to be up on top. Mike?
2 successful ascents by Terrance and James. James, the quicker, the 2 in a time of 30 seconds. You're not bad either in 56, so you both earn points. You get the 10, you get the 5, TJ. The feeling is better than you thought it would be. You had 10 practice sessions and never made it?
Not once in 10 tries. It was just a victory just to get to the top. I was so happy.
Well done. Terrance, you were a study in guts and perseverance. You hung tough. You had the Gladiator right in your tail, but you never quit.
Hey, when the going gets tough, that's when you get busy. And I'm kind of down on points right now, so it's about that time.
Well done. All right, Terrance and James.
That's James' sister, and she certainly has a right to cheer as her brother takes the wall event and increases his lead now after 4 events. Still to come on American Gladiators, our game of Atlasphere. Our new event, Hang Tough, but up next, the women's wall.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where Carrie Henger leads Nina Akai in their preliminary round match as they await the start of the wall. Nina will be taking on Blaze, while Carrie Henger will be trailed by Gold.
Remember, our contenders have a 10-second head start before our Gladiators hit the wall.
Ready? Nina in the red, Carrie in the blue.
Carrie having a few problems as Gold closes the gap. Gets a hold of her foot and pulls her off the wall.
Blaze is closing the gap meanwhile on Nina Akai, but Nina keeps pulling away every time Blaze gets close.
Nina just a few inches ahead of the grasp of Blaze, but makes it to the top of the wall and picks up the 10 points.
Nina, you are the queen of the wall.
The queen.
The queen of the wall, as opposed to king of the hill, queen of the wall. I don't know if you knew it, but Blaze was right on your tail. Actually got a hold of your right toe.
She did.
She did. You didn't feel that. You weren't worried about that.
I'll tell you, that's about as scary as being chased by a pit bull.
Congratulations. Nicely done. 10 points for making it to the top first. Have some fun on the way down.
So Nina wins the race on the wall and reclaims the lead over Carrie after 4 events. In our men's battle, James has the lead over Terrance as the men move to Atlasphere, where both contenders compete simultaneously in an effort to score in one of 4 scoring pods worth 1 point each. At the same time, two gladiators in spheres of their own try to keep the contenders from scoring. And Mike, it's quite a workout. As we see Terrance Johnson climbing into his vehicle. He's got a lot of room in there, Mike. And Turbo getting into his, and he doesn't have a lot of room in his.
Ready red. Ready blue. Gladiators, ready.
Our referee, Larry Thompson, making sure the field of play is set and that our scoring devices are working. They are. Again, 60 seconds to score as many times as you can. Our firefighter, James Kiernan, seems to have the knack. TJ can't get his Atlasphere settled in that pod. Got another chance here, and again, he can't get it to settle. James looking for a little room to maneuver. There's TJ, he's got it now. I'll get that sucker out of there. He does. Turbo gives TJ a little bang to remember him by, but he does get the goal and wins this Atlasphere match 2-1.
Good defense by Turbo as he knocks James right out of the pod right here. So Terrance wins this game of Atlasphere and chips away at the lead James Kiernan has after 5 events. Nina leads Carrie as the women get loaded into their Atlaspheres.
Lace will be one of the gladiators that the contenders will have to face as our artist gets inside of her Atlasphere.
Ready red. Ready blue. Gladiators, ready.
Diamond, the other
ready.
gladiator on the playing surface. Nina in the red, Carrie Henger in the blue.
No score. No score.
Carrie actually got an assist that time from Diamond.
Carrie down on all fours, but getting that sphere moving.
Here's Nina with a breakaway of swords. Can't she get it to settle? Come on. Oh, yeah! Oh, Carrie had a big chance there. He couldn't get it to settle.
Carrie doing a little topsy-turvy, rolls it back in. Will she get it to settle? She does.
So when push comes to shove, Carrie gets the goal and wins this match 2-1.
Carrie showing a great breakaway here, rolls around the rim, gets back up, uses a little muscle, puts it up around the rim again and forces the settle in and picks up the point. Nice effort by Carrie, who wins Atlasphere and now trails Nina by only 4 after 5 events. Still to come on American Gladiators is the Eliminator. But up next is Hang Tough.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for Hang Tough, our latest event on American Gladiators. And coming into this event, James has a 13-point lead over Terrance Johnson.
Hang Tough is a 60-second aerial battle of contender versus gladiator, where a contender earns 10 points for swinging to the gladiator's platform. And 5 points for lasting 60 seconds, a very demanding competition.
Terrance Johnson is our first contender up. Ran track at the University of Missouri. We know how he does on the ground. Let's see how he does in midair against Thunder.
Thunder weighing in at 260. I don't know, after this event, Mike, his arms might be a lot longer.
He'll have the wingspan of a giant condor. Strength isn't everything in this event. Timing and finesse help a lot too. Okay, Terrance looks like he's got Thunder going in the opposite direction. He's got Thunder going down is what he's got. And now he's got a free run at the platform. Let's see if he can hang on, hang tough.
I think Terrance is about wore himself out. He's just managing to hang on to one ring there. He's not exactly moving towards the platform. He's just kind of going back and forth.
Terrance sort of in no man's land, but if he can hang on for another 4 seconds, he's got 5 points for a draw. And he does. And a nice landing.
1 point landing and a tired Contender.
Terrance hang tough is a little bit like a game of football, but played in midair. Yeah. You took the outside line, and I thought you were going to make it to the platform.
Yeah, it got a little tricky. Those things they probably look close together on TV, I don't know, but they're spaced pretty far apart. But you guys named this baby right. It's hang tough.
Well, you hung tough well enough to earn 5 points by lasting the entire 60 seconds. And folks, I want you to see something here. His wristbands, I don't know if you can see it. Gladiator buster. He didn't bust Thunder there, but he earned the 5 points. Nicely done.
I'm letting go this time, brother. I'm letting go this time.
Thunder says he's not about to be busted. As James Kiernan looks on.
James was the record holder for the Phoenix Fire Department in the physical agility test. I wonder if they had an event like this, though.
He looks right at home up there in the rafters.
Meanwhile, Thunder a little bit better this time around.
James pulling a smart move, just trying to keep some distance between he and Thunder, even if he has to retreat.
Both men have sort of lost their swing momentum. Now James has got it going.
Going to try to make a move to get by Thunder here. Starting to get a little short on the clock.
He's actually by Thunder right now. 1 more ring, 2 more rings. Oh, he runs out of time, but he earns 5 points. Okay, guys, you can let go now.
James Kiernan adding a little insult to injury. Does a back over flip like I'm right at home here.
So James now leads by the same margin after 6 events as both men get draws. And in women's competition, Nina leads Carrie by 4 as the women ready themselves to take to the air. Gold draws the assignment for the Gladiators, and she'll swing up against Nina Akai.
Ready?
Nina, the painter and sculptor, looking for an artistic performance here.
Nina trying to move forward, but keep an eye on gold at the same time.
Not an easy task, I might add. Gold now swinging back and forth, waiting for Nina to make some kind of move so she can attack. I don't think Nina knows where she's at right now. A little disoriented.
I don't think there's a lot of rhyme or reason to her strategy. She's just moving from ring to ring, trying to stay out of Gold's reach. Coming down to 4 seconds. All she has to do is hang tough. And she does, and picks up the draw.
So now it's Carrie Henger's turn, our stunt woman from Ban Nuys, California. And Larry, I think there's a little bit of a learning curve in this event. Obviously, the more you do this, the more adept you get at it. Gold should be a little bit better this time around.
I think, Mike, you just learn how to handle yourself on the rings. What happens is so many times when they first start, knowing a strategy is one thing, but being able to change your momentum to match it is something else.
And changing your direction is extremely difficult.
Gotta move, Gold. Gotta move.
Referee Larry Thompson encouraging Gold to move one way or the other. She's kind of lying like a spider after a fly and wait. Figuring that Carrie will have to come to her eventually.
I think Gold's intention is to move. I don't think she can. Larry, I'm trying, believe me.
Carrie almost getting herself in trouble, suspended by one arm for some time there. That's got to wear the lat muscle out pretty good.
Crowd counting down the clock, and that's it, another tie. So both Carrie and Nina earn 5 points, and Nina will carry a 4-point lead into the final event, the Eliminator. That event remains here on the American Gladiator. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for our final event, the Eliminator.
Well, Mike, both contenders start at the treadmill and must run against the belts in an effort to reach the top. Once there, each contender crosses a 30-foot span by means of a specially designed hand bike. Then across the balance beam, where the Gladiators throw weighted blocking pads at the contenders.
Larry, from there, it's a mad scramble up a 20-foot cargo net, and then the fun really begins. Our contenders will be traveling first class via the zip line, which will carry them across the entire length of the arena floor. Then our contenders will have to go down this straightaway, make like Edwin Moses, negotiate those hurdles, and then make a choice which lane to pick. Behind 3 of those doors, our American Gladiators, all determined to stop the contenders from crossing the finish line.
And Mike, the women are up first, with Nina leading by 4, meaning that Carrie will have to beat Nina by 2 seconds in order to advance. Keep in mind that the women must finish in 90 seconds, with each second left on the clock worth 2 points.
And for every fall along the way, 5-point penalties will be assessed. Nina in the red, Carrie in the blue.
Ready!
And the women are on their way. Winner automatically moves on to the quarterfinals. Whoa! Both Nina and Carrie lose their grip on the hand bike. So technically now we're still dead even. Come on, Nina, get up there.
Carrie utilizing that height and the longer reach to get up on the platform first. Stalls on the I-beam. Nina challenges. Carrie finally making it across.
Nearing the top of the cargo net. And Nina the first to reach the zip line.
Carrie running out of gas.
Nina with barely enough energy to clear those hurdles, just gets by Lace and crosses the finish lines. She'll go on to the corners. Come on, Blaze, give her a break. She's had a tough day. A superlative, gut-wrenching effort by both women.
Carrie, you've had the competitive spirit all day. I think your background as a stunt woman's helped you out a great deal. You're a little short in the points, but it looks like now you'll probably get to the quarterly finals, because we won't know that, of course, until all the points are in. How did you enjoy the day?
I loved it. I had a great time. As an athlete, I like to push my body to its limits, and I think I've come pretty damn close.
Pretty close. All right. Good. That's good to hear. Nina, you've done it. You're in the quarterly finals. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
A little tough in this Eliminator, wasn't it?
Well, this place looks like a playground, but it's a true game of survival.
Sometimes looks will fool you. This looks like kind of an easy thing until you really get into it. It's like the wall. All of a sudden you realize about halfway up, this is a tough, tough event.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's a real blast.
We're glad you enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to the quarterly finals. Thank you, ladies, for your great competitive spirit.
So the pride of Hoboken moves on with her victory over Carrie Henger. The men are up next, and Nitro is doing his part to get the crowd pumped up. In the men's competition, James leads Terrance 27-14. That means TJ would have to make up a 6.5-second margin in order to advance to the quarterfinals. And keep in mind that the men must complete the Eliminator course in 60 seconds or less. Again, every second they finish under 60 is worth 2 points. James in the blue, TJ in the red.
TJ making short work of the hand bike.
Boy, he flew across there. Both men have made it intact to the cargo net. Here the going is a little unsteady. And James Kiernan has taken the lead. Down the final straightaway, over the hurdles. Only a Gladiator remains.
TJ running out of gas. Will he pick the right door? He does.
Laser wanted to give him a pop, but held off there at the end.
Hey, oh yeah, baby.
Well, a thrilling finish here at Universal Studios Hollywood. The Eliminator didn't eliminate either man. TJ, Terrance, your motto throughout this competition was let's get busy. And from the very beginning, you got busy. You went right up that treadmill.
Oh, yeah, man. I knew I had to do it now or never. But it's not whether you win or lose. It's you just come to get busy. You come to play hard. Win is not important. You just play to win is what's important. And just do it in everything in life.
That's a great message, TJ. We enjoyed your performance. Terrific job. James, your firefighting experience came in handy. You and Terrance were dead even going into the cargo netting, and somehow you just zipped up that net.
Well, I've had a lot of experiences climbing ladders with the fire department, so I think that helped me on the cargo net there.
Well, James, you have the Gladiators' respect. Congratulations, you go on to the quarterfinals. And we'll be back with more of the American Gladiators right after this.
So James wins, but Terrance should also benefit from a high losing score.
That's it for this edition of the American Gladiators. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamle saying so long from Universal Studios Hollywood.